guys, it's the Media Men. I'm Lucas,
I'm Ben.
And I'm Keegan.
and today we're going to do a quick little rundown of some of the stuff going on in movies this coming year that we look forward to most. We're going to answer some questions and talk about all the big movies we're all going to go see.
All right, sounds good.
Nope, not seen any movies this year.
Nope.
Not a single one.
I mean, it's a pretty slow year for movies in general so far, but hopefully it'll pick up.
I think I've heard of like 2 or 3 that are coming out, maybe.
All I know is I'm going to be broke by the end of the year. There's so many
Yeah.
movies coming out. I'm
I
excited as hell, dude. It's going to be a great year. I can feel it. Feel it in my bones.
So starting things off here, Ben, what character are you most excited to see on the screen?
Without a doubt, Darth Vader from Rogue One just got confirmed that he's going to have a big role. And my answer to this 2 days ago would have been Batman, but Darth Vader. So
Yes.
I'm really, really excited about that. We don't know if he's going to be the primary antagonist, but they would be smart to do it. What's great about this is that this is a perfect opportunity to just milk it. Like, normally that irritates people, but, like, it makes sense given the timeline of the movie that he would have a predominant role. So I'm very, very much looking forward to Darth Vader.
Yeah, and he's one of the most iconic characters of all time. So, I mean, granted, Batman's also one of the most iconic characters of all time. But
Darth
Not
Vader.
quite as iconic, though.
yeah, I don't know if he is or not, but regardless, Darth Vader is such an interesting character that we still don't know as much as we could. Like Batman, there have been so many comics and so many movie adaptations and TV adaptations and such to like really flesh out who he is as a character. But Darth Vader still has like an edge of mysteriousness to him, I feel.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think it would be really interesting to see if they take the same path as they did with Kylo Ren in Episode 7 and give us more of a insight onto his personal life and how he behaves when no one's around and that type of stuff. That'd be a very interesting dynamic that I hope they continue with.
Yeah, I would love to see that. Because now that now that Disney's wiped the canon clean, we don't have that insight as much anymore. We did before, and we knew that he like had remorse and he felt guilty, but he kind of like pushed it deep down, and you can kind of infer that now, but we don't like see him thinking about those things. So that'd be really nice to see.
For
Also, the way Darth Vader is written in Lords of the Sith and another novel, he augments his speed with the Force, and he's like crazy strong, and like you get to kind of see that in the movies, but not in the same way.
Nope.
Not
No.
not in the same way as the books.
I don't even think you do see it in the movies. I mean, in the original trilogy, as great as he was, they
He
couldn't
was more
do
of
it-
like he was more of like the Frankenstein monster.
They couldn't do as much back then, so he wasn't as like agile and quite as like
Yeah.
Jedi like as like he was as a Jedi. He was a little slower moving, and there was more meaning, I think, behind a lot of his strikes and stuff. But I think at the same time, you didn't get a cool, just
Yeah,
balls
no.
to the walls lightsaber fight that
No,
he
but-
is capable of doing.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a sliver of that, but like for example, there's this scene in Lords of the Sith in the book where he like ejects out of his ship, and then he uses the Force to push himself into another ship, and then he wrecks everybody. And like that's the kind of stuff I want to see. Just the crazy off the wall Darth Vader, full of hatred and angry. Be great. Those action scenes, they gotta nail those. So Keegan, which character are you most excited to see?
Well, I think out of all the movies coming out, I'm probably most excited to see Deadpool in a live action movie, because I think Fox is actually nailing his personality, and he looks, I mean, he's funny. All of the things that we've seen so far, he looks like he's going to be a good Deadpool. He looks the part, like unlike some other movie adaptations, which we don't need to mention right now. But I just think he looks the coolest, and he's such a fun character that I think it'll be really interesting to see him in a live action movie. See if he's going to break the fourth wall, if he's going to talk to the audience, or like things like that.
Yeah, that'll be super interesting for sure.
But what about you, Lucas? What are you most excited? What character are you most excited to see in this 2016 year?
This was a tough one for me. I think as an honorable mention, I'm going to say a character I don't know too much about personally, but I look forward to learning a lot about, and that is Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
I think he's
It's a
one of
good
the
one.
more he's one of the more forgotten things that's going on this year in the movie business. With all the highlights that are happening in the beginning of the year, it's hard to keep track of it all. But I look forward to finding out about him because I don't know too much, and from everything I've heard, there's a lot of interesting stuff they can do with him. So he's my honorable mention, but I'm going to keep things simple here and say we get a new Batman, so I'm excited to see a new Batman.
Yep.
Can't argue against Batman.
He's
Batman.
definitely my runner-up.
A big thing that helped me with that choice is getting to see the suit in person at Comic-Con. That got me really hyped for it because it looked so badass.
Yeah, I think it's easily the best-looking Batman suit we've seen on screen. I don't even think it's close.
Yeah. And I can't wait to see it moving around and in action because it's very menacing.
It is. For sure. It's the first time we're getting the dark gray live action.
All right. Next up, we're going to ask, what interaction do you look forward to most? Keegan, what about you?
Well, I mean, the best interaction I think that we're going to see all year is going to be the interaction between Harley Quinn and the Joker. I mean, Harley Quinn is one of the great characters that has not even been around that long but has such a big following now because she became so popular because she was such an awesome character in 90s TV series. So I think she's going to be great. I think she looks awesome. Margot Robbie looks great, and
no arguments here.
Yeah, so I just think they're going to be a lot of fun. I want to see if this movie is going to revolve around those two and then have other things spur off from that, and then that's how we get more exposition in what's happening in the current story, and it'll be like flashbacks and stuff showing how she came to be and why she is the way she is. So that's what I'm most excited for.
Fair enough. I'm also looking forward to that too. However, for me, it's got to be Batman and Superman. That interaction is going to be amazing. It's the title of the movie. And, I mean, we've already gotten glimpses of that in the trailer. But based on those small interactions that we have seen, it looks awesome. I know many people are trying to stay clear of any more trailers after that one that kind of spoiled a bit. But the most recent 30-second spots, television spots, were both really, really good. It made me way more excited for the movie than that trailer did. So definitely looking forward to that interaction.
Mine is more of a, I hope we see this interaction than a confirmed one we will see. And I hope to see an interaction between Deadpool and Stan Lee. And I think that would be just such a huge moment in the movie, and it would make so much sense. So hopefully he's in there, and hopefully the two share some words, because that'd be hilarious.
Oh, I feel like that has to happen now. I didn't even think of that. That's a good one. That would be great.
Yeah, it's the only opportunity for it to happen within any of the characters created so far.
No, that's brilliant. They have to do that. If they don't do that, I'm going to be disappointed now.
So hopefully we will see that. All right, next up, your favorite moments from any of the previews we've seen so far. Ben.
Well, for me, it was again in Batman and Superman. Actually, I'm going to revise my answer. I'm going to say the very ending of the first Suicide Squad trailer we got, where we saw the Joker for the first time, and then all my fears evaporated instantly because he sounded crazy, and it was perfect, and it was different enough that I didn't feel like it was copying the previous Jokers, but it felt more comic booky in the look, and I very much dig his voice and his laugh. He has a really great Joker laugh, so I think that might be my favorite moment.
That's a good one, definitely. What about you, Keegan?
Well, I mean, I think my favorite moment from any of the trailers that we've seen and previews and stuff would have to also be in Suicide Squad. And it wasn't so much of a specific moment, but kind of the tone of the second trailer that they had. I mean, they were having so much fun with it that I was having fun watching it. When even, Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang gets out of the bag and immediately punches someone, and when seeing Katana's soul-eating sword, I thought that was really cool, and it looked interesting, and I really liked kind of just the tone as a moment, if I can do that.
I think that's a fair answer.
And I love the fact that it was set to Bohemian Rhapsody.
I mean, when you pick such a great classic song, it's hard to fuck some stuff up.
No, and it was perfect because that song kind of goes from like a classical tune to this like kind of more hard rock type thing. So I felt it worked really well with the dynamic of the crazy yes people you're watching on screen.
Yeah, it's almost like an anthem for the squad.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't even be opposed to it actually being in the movie. It's a great song.
For me, my favorite moment came when we saw Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne at the cocktail party or whatever's going on, the banquet, and Lex Luthor goes up to him and says, "Wow, look at this, Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne talking together." And then when he shakes Clark Kent's hand, he's like, "Ooh, you do not want to pick a fight with this guy." That moment to me was so funny, and it's like, yeah, but there's about to be some shit go down with these. It's something that only the viewers get that experience from, and it doesn't impact the movie at all, but it was so funny.
Yeah, it was like a huge wink to the audience, and it was cute, so I liked it.
Yeah.
I like that a lot too.
And I feel like Lex, maybe in that moment, does have some insider knowledge or something. Not that he knows he's Superman or something, but he knows there might be something off about Clark Kent and stuff. So I think that he might have something that he knows that the audience doesn't know, whereas the audience does know that he's Superman, so it makes it funnier.
Right. And another reason this was a big moment in the previews for me, I think, is because when I first heard about the casting for Lex Luthor, I was a little skeptical. I was like, this is the dude from The Social Network. But after getting to see him voice some things and say some things, I feel a lot better about his ability to portray this character in a way that will honor him.
Yeah. I'm starting to feel like the Lex Luthor we know already from the comics and the TV shows and whatnot is going to be what the Lex Luthor we see in these trailers turns into by the end of the movie.
Yeah, I think that's definitely possible. But that being said, I still am not quite so sold on him because I do think he doesn't seem imposing at all to me still. So, I mean, he's a good actor, so I'm definitely going to give him a chance. But I just think that from what I've seen so far, he just seems like a little dude that would not be a threat. So I think I need to see more of his intellect and not so much his philosophy.
Yeah. Well, then you see the Michael Rosenbaum Lex Luthor from Smallville, and he wasn't like super imposing either, but like it grew on you to the point where you're like, yeah, this is Lex Luthor. And I think we'll kind of get the same thing with this Jesse Eisenberg one as well.
Well, the thing with Smallville was I actually really liked Lex as a person in that series, so I didn't want him to be evil in that.
That's true. That helps.
It does help.
That seems to be a growing thing we see in movies is a character, or in shows too, a character that you don't want to be bad and you know is going to be bad.
Yeah.
And you don't want him to. And I really like it because it just adds such a depth to the world.
And it's good writing is what it is. It's good writing if they can make you like someone who you know is going to be evil at some point or be bad or do these terrible things, but at the same time you don't want them to do those things because you have a connection to them.
Right.
And that's kind of what I want, not necessarily from the Lex Luthor in the movie, but I think it would be cool to have a villain that I actually care about, that I don't want them to go down this path, but they go down it anyway, and it's just it's a great ride, basically, as if you're watching a show or movie.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's almost like a dragged out version of the scene from Episode 7 of Star Wars where we knew Han Solo was about to get killed, but it just wasn't happening, and it's like that dragged out.
Yeah, exactly that. Though I don't think we're going to be getting that with the Lex Luthor in this movie. I think he's just
I don't think they're going to try to charm us into liking him.
We're definitely not getting like a villain. Like he's. I mean, villains in real life don't think that they're doing the wrong thing, and that's kind of what this Lex Luthor is going to be, right? He wants to stop Superman or stop whoever because he's afraid or he thinks he's doing the right thing for everybody.
Right. I think he's going to go more from not really having any role in anything to becoming a villain rather than having like a change of heart going from this good guy who we kind of like going bad.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, and this question, I think there's the best chance for a clean sweep with this answer here. What movie do you think has been marketed or previewed the best so far?
Well, contrary to all my other answers, I'm going to say Deadpool has been marketed the best. I mean, I'm not most excited for it, but like the way it got me excited, I think they're nailing the characters so well, and all these like little pictures and spots and like billboards and all these different things. It's like one of the best marketing campaigns for a movie I've ever seen that I've paid attention to. So I have to say without a doubt Deadpool.
Yeah, I'm going to have to second that motion because, I mean, just when I'm laughing my ass off at every marketing opportunity, and it's the marketing strategies that they're using are very clever in the way that they get you excited for the movie, but they don't really tell you much about the movie. I mean, yes, you have your standard trailers and stuff, but I mean, he just goes around making fun of people, and he just had one recently with like freaking Australia Day, and it was hilarious to me. Everything they do, they make me laugh a lot, and they're not even telling me about the movie, but it's just the character, and Ryan Reynolds is so into this role. You can feel that he's excited to be a part of this and that he enjoys what he's doing. So, I mean, that's a big selling point. If you can like market something in a way that makes me feel like they're excited about it, then that's hands down Deadpool as well.
And I think that one of the points you made is the key aspect that makes, for the clean sweep, Deadpool the most well-marketed movie so far, is that they've given us so much content, but they haven't given us away anything major in the movie. And that's very contrary to what Batman vs. Superman has done, because there's already a large group of people who feel too much has been revealed, or, oh my gosh, there's so many characters in this movie, or whatever. And it feels like it's taking away from the experience we're going to get, whereas Deadpool has not done that, and we've gotten more stuff than we have from Batman vs. Superman. But to be fair, it's also a comedy movie, so there's kind of a little less expectation of giving away the plot in the trailer.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't make up for the huge difference we're seeing in the two. And Deadpool is definitely, I think, the clear winner in the marketing.
Whew, unanimous vote.
That happens very rarely between the three of us.
Very rarely.
All right, well, moving on to the biggest question probably, and the final question. What movie overall are you looking forward to most?
Well, the movie I'm looking forward to the most is probably Suicide Squad. I mean, this is a movie that's doing something very different from other comic book movies. So is Deadpool, of course. They're doing something completely different, but this is a movie where you actually have like characters that just are evil. They're bad people. They're just all around. They're all bad people. So I already like them. In the trailers, I think the cast was awesome, and I think everybody looks really good in their roles, and it looks like they're having fun, like I said earlier. But it's so different to me to see villains be the heroes, per se, of a movie, and yet you like want to root for them because they're the heroes and they're fun characters, but at the same time you're like, these people probably shouldn't be out on the streets, and I'm really looking forward to that. And it looks like it's going to be a high-paced, very action intense movie with some backstory and stuff between some of the characters, but still maintain like a very fun and kind of comedic tone with still telling an interesting story that is going to connect to the overall DCU.
Phew,
yes.
Very well put. What about you, Ben?
All right, well, being that I found out the news about Darth Vader being in the movie, I'm so excited for it now. But because we've gotten no information about Rogue One, really, aside from, details, we haven't gotten any trailers or marketing, really. So I'm going to have to go with Batman v Superman, and we get that in like 2 months. So I'm excited.
Gonna be great.
the problem with my excitement is that it's also like tempered with like anxiousness, so that's like hurting the excitement level. Like I feel like my life is riding on this movie being awesome.
Yeah, I agree. And the only reason I didn't pick it is because I feel like with the trailers and marketing, my expectations have gone down slightly. Like I'm still really excited about it and I can't wait. I think it's going to be awesome, but there's this lingering part of me that's like, but what if it's not? And that I just don't get from Suicide Squad. I just think it's going to be a fun action, like, comedy type movie that's just a lot of fun and interesting. But, like, Batman v Superman it has to be great. So the anxiousness of that movie is why I didn't have it number one on my list.
Fair enough. What about you, Lucas?
Well, it comes down to your two choices for sure. But I think the edge goes to Batman vs. Superman in this case because of the fact that this is just the beginning. Like, it is the setup to the DC Universe that has the potential to be my favorite aspect of cinema of all time. Like, this universe coming to life is such a huge deal because look what Marvel has done. I mean, imagine what DC's gonna do. Like, this is just the very first step in what's going to be an amazing ride. And so, for that reason, I cannot wait for this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's Batman v Superman. That's something that people couldn't have dreamed about 10 years ago. It's just something that's so awesome, and it's going to be great, and I can't wait for it because, I mean, it's Batman and Superman fighting. That's something that all comic book fans have wanted to see for a long time because those two are two of the most popular comic book characters of all time, and to get them into a movie together where they're going to fight is going to be great. And then, they're going to kick some ass together as well. So, I mean, it is a good choice.
Yeah, and I like how they've clearly set the distinction between them and Marvel. I really enjoy that they're doing something just different. I also want to give an honorable mention to Captain America Civil War since that got no love. But I am looking forward to that. I do think it's probably going to be good. In fact, if I had to bet which movie was going to be better between Batman v Superman and Captain America Civil War, I would say Captain America. I'm going to like Batman v Superman more. But I think that Captain America is going to be like the better executed movie.
I think
because Marvel
possible.
Marvel has shown us that they can consistently make good movies. I really, really like Man of Steel, but I know how divisive that was. So when I say like the better movie, in part I do mean it's going to be better received by audiences.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
So any closing comments about the movies?
No, sorry, Bob. Just looking forward to this year of movies.
I'm going to be spending bankrolls on these movies this year. I know that much.
Oh my goodness. I'm already broke, but I'll be broker. I'll be a negative.
It's a doozy of a year, and hopefully it will turn out to be as good as we think it will. And I really do think it will. Just from everything we've seen, I can't imagine any of these movies disappointing.
I sure hope not.
All right, well, I think this is going to wrap it up for the Media Men here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Let us know what movie you look forward to seeing most. Let us know what you think about any of our comments. Like and share this video. And that's it for the Media Men. Signing off.
Subscribe!